decided to splurge on a coffee machine these holidays and you're looking for something a little bit extra special, not just your average run-of-the-mill coffee machine, you might be wanting to upgrade your machine, or you've got a bit of a budget set aside and you really want to dive deep into something that looks fantastic and delivers great coffee quality, well, I'm going to give you my recommendations in that Australian dollar range of $3,000 to $6,000. So let's check them out. Now, in this range, there are a lot of E61 group head machines. E61 was developed in 1961 by Faema by a man named Ernesto Valente, and it's become the standard. It looks really obvious at first because you can see the group heads jutting out from the machine, and that's the classic E61 look. They are all quality machines. Most of them are heat exchange, which means that you can do coffee and milk at the same time. And they vary in having a vibration pump or a rotary pump. A vibration pump is exactly what it says, vibrates a lot, and it creates a lot of noise to get the steam pressure up so that you can steam your milk. Whereas the rotary pump is a little bit more durable, a little bit more robust and quieter while delivering that great steam endlessly. So I'm not going to cover all of those machines because there's just too many, and a lot of them I haven't even really done much with. But you can look at La Pavoni, Bezzera, La Cimbali, Faema. There's just so many out there, I can't name them all. I'm going to focus on a few of my personal preferences, and really I'm going to be looking at some other unique machines. So the first one I want to talk to you about is the GIOTTO, Rocket GIOTTO. Now, Rocket, well-known brand, so you are actually paying a little bit, I think, for the name. However, the quality is outstanding. You're looking at 20 plus years for these machines, and the GIOTTO has been around for such a long time that they've refined it and they've created a couple of different variations of it. So the base model is called the Chronometer 5, and that really just gives you the standard E61 functions and features, which includes a mechanical pre-infusion, the heat exchange with a vibratory pump, so you can do milk and coffee at the same time, and it has a little manometer which tells you the pressure, but it doesn't do much other than that. It just looks beautiful, and of course it creates beautiful coffee and reliable for 15 plus years. The other GIOTTO model is the Evolutioner R, which just gives you a few more features like a digital shot clock. They have also the ability to plumb it in, so if you're looking to just get that endless water and you don't want to have to muck around with the tank, then you have that option with the Evolution. But the only real difference between these two is a couple of small features. However, it just depends on what you like. Rocket as a brand just create fantastic coffee machines anyway, so you can't really go wrong whether you get the Chronometer or the Evolution. The other machine that I want to talk about in the Rocket range is the R58, which is actually a dual boiler machine. So they've gone away from their heat exchange and they've created the space to put two boilers in, one dedicated for the steam and one dedicated for the brew boiler. And that allows you to make coffee and milk at the same time, just like the heat exchange, but with a lot more control. And specifically control around the pre-infusion, with not just the mechanical pre-infusion, but also a digital pre-infusion with a nice big display there so you can actually set the temperature of the water and the pre-infusion times on the screen. And also it gives you the ability to just endlessly pump out coffees. So if you're making coffees for a family of 10, say at a Christmas function or something like that, then this machine is going to last and it's going to really hold up, whereas the others will fluctuate in temperature and some shots will taste a bit poor and others will taste better. So at 5,700 AUD, it's not going to be for everyone, but I love these machines. I especially love the Rocket dual boiler R58. So if you're looking at a machine in that range, I would definitely check out the Rocket R58. Before I go on, please give me a like if you like this content. It helps get these videos out there, and I'm really passionate about just educating as many people around the world. So I don't mind if you don't subscribe, but a like is great. And if you can subscribe, even better. Next machine just won me over with the design aesthetic, and that's the San Remo Cube. It comes in 8 different colors, so it really does match your kitchen, whatever look and feel you have there. Plus, you can buy the grinder that matches the same color as the machine. The machine itself is an E61 heat exchange with a vibration pump, but it can also be plumbed in rather than just being used on the tank. And it has a lot of functions that I think the R58 doesn't have, which allows it to connect to an app And then you can set all of your controls. You've got your shot count there. You've got a lot of the startup times. You can have it come on at 7:15 in the morning and turn off at 10, or you can set a whole bunch of other features. And I think I love that about the Cube. I really love this machine. I'm gonna get one in the cafe to really test it out and run it and try it out, showcase it for a lot of people, so that really people can really understand why this machine is set at $4,500, what really makes that value. And I think if you're looking at around that $5,000 price, the San Remo Cube is actually probably slightly better over some of the rockets at that lower end. Now this next machine really is on the cusp of the 6K mark, but I love it so much. I could either do it in this video or the next one. I'm going to start it in this video and I'll continue it into the next one, but this machine is one that I personally own at home. It's the Decent Espresso machine. It's kind of like the Tesla of all the machines, because it comes with a huge tablet on the front and it can control basically any aspect of the coffee that you want to, whether that's the flow rate, the pressure, the temperature, the volume. Every aspect is controlled, and you can do some crazy extractions on that. I've tried 4.5-minute extractions at different temperatures and different pressures all through it to create a really unique, I wouldn't say I loved the coffee, but it was definitely unique in its flavor. It doesn't have a boiler, which is really interesting, because what it does is it uses tiny injections of water, hot and cold, to consistently create that perfect temperature and volume no matter what you're making. So if you're looking for something a little bit different, this really stands out. It's gone away from that traditional look of the coffee machine and really created something unique, new, and something I reckon will change the landscape of coffee in the future. Already we're starting to see other machine manufacturers catching up, putting a bit of a display on there, allowing it to export the shots, show it in a graph display so that you can share it with other people around the world and see if they can get a better extraction or even give you tips on your extraction. There's so much information there, but I don't recommend this as your first machine, although it would be fine. You can simply press a button and it would make the coffee, but you're giving away so much, because why buy the best machine in the world if you're only going to do one simple thing on it? Maybe this is not the machine for you. It's a huge learning curve. If you're interested in going deeper and deeper into coffee, then this Decent Espresso and the DE1 Pro just comes in under $6,000 at $5,500. But with the import taxes and the shipping costs, we'll just tip it over that 6K. But I love this machine. I can't recommend it enough. And I hope a lot more machines out there in the future start to go down that road as well. And lastly, I'm going to talk about the ESPRESSO Baby T. It's a beautiful looking machine, another dual boiler at just under $6,000, is fantastic for anyone wanting to get into something a little bit different than your standard coffee machine. It has a vibration pump. It can't be plumbed in like a lot of the other machines at this price point, but that's not a huge drawback, because it has all the other features like the PID, 58mm commercial portafilters, dual boiler, so you can steam and do coffee at the same time. And they just look beautiful. They're really reliable. I haven't had the experience with them, so I can't say that this will be a 15-year machine. However, given everything that's in them, I think it could last that long quite easily. There's two models. There's a Zero and a Plus. And really the only difference is that the Zero can't be plumbed in. It doesn't have a few other features, and the Plus is just slightly larger. All right, well, they're the machines that I recommend for 2023 in that range. If you have any that I've missed or you think that I should be recommending in here, please drop a comment in the section below and I'll try to respond to it where I can. But I'm Ryan, your coffee coach, and as always, it's about enjoying your brew.